Hi, this is Edgar from ES Mixing. I wanted to make a quick video. Actually, a friend of mine in the States actually asked me, and he told me, "Can you make a video on salsa, on percussion, and the panning and the levels and stuff like that?" And I said, "Well, I'll try." I'm a two-time Latin Grammy winner. I've worked with El Gran Combo, which is like the biggest salsa group in the history. So I have the honor of working with them, and I did two records with them, and I won one Grammy, and the second one got nominated. And so I got a whole bunch of experience doing tropical music as well as reggaeton and stuff like that. So let's get to it. Tíralo. So I wanted to talk about the salsa rhythm and the instrumentation and the name of the instruments and how they're played and how they interact. And because salsa is a very traditional style of music, so I got a session right here. Let me show you the session. I'm just going to do the percussion and maybe bass and piano. I'm not sure though, but I got a whole a full drum kit in this session. Everything is routed. I got some panning going on, but actually just on the drums. But I'm not gonna focus on the drums. The drums are just there. I got no plugins or anything like that. The only thing I have is this Lindell that I use to emulate the line input of a console, and I use that on the first insert of each of the tracks, right? So I got the drum kit in red here. I got hand claps. I have the conga and the tumbador. I have the Güiro. I have maracas. I have clave, timbale, and then I have the bass and a piano, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna play them, but just in case. So I just want to show you how I actually EQ and balance and pan all these instruments. Okay, so I got the drums muted right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play the congas for you. This is the conga, and the way they're labeled on the tracks, you can see that it says conga and it says tumba, which is the conga is the main drums. In salsa, they usually use either two or three congas, and I usually mic them from the top, the conga, which is the main drum, and then tumbador, which is the larger drum. So it goes like tum, boom, boom. They got two different pitches, and one is lower than the other, right? So let's hear 'em. Let's hear 'em. Let me solo them real quick. So let's keep going with the different sounds. I'm gonna go to the bongo bell, the cowbell. There's usually two bells in the salsa music. There's a bell that is played by the bongo player, and he's doing like probably he's doing bongos on the verses, and then when the choruses come, he'll just grab the bell, the cowbell, and start doing the traditional campana pattern for the salsa, which is this one right here. So this is the bongo bell. I got the Güiro. That's the Güiro. Let me solo it. You got the maracas. Everyone knows what a maraca is, right? Let's hear them. So that's the pattern for the verses. When the timbale is actually playing the cascara, which is hitting the timbal from the side with the sticks from the metal part, so he's going like tick taki tick taki taki tick taki taki taki, and you can hear the maracas in the background doing a similar pattern, which is this one. So then I have clave here, which is everyone knows what the clave is. Let's listen to it. So it's a little bit crispy, right? You can hear a little bit of the distortion on that clave. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's kind of cool. So I got the timbal. So these are the pailas, which are the timbal high, which is the high pitch drum, and then I got the low pitch drum, which is timbal usually is like a metal drum, right? So this is an instrument that there's not much you can do EQ wise. If it's not well recorded, you are in big trouble. So and the good news is, you know, if I have a good timbale player and a good instrument, and you have the right microphones, you're gonna do fine. Let's hear the bell from the timbal, which is this one right here. So that's the salsa pattern on the timbale bell, right? So that plays with the bongo campana, right? The bell from the bongo. Let me play it and listen to the way they interact with each other. So I got the OH timbal, which is the overhead timbal. If the timbale player has more than one cymbal, I'll use overheads, but that gives me some trouble, right? Because this music, these instruments are not panned like a audience perspective or musician's perspective. They're panned in a way that makes sense with their interaction between them, and it's very traditional. And so this is the actual cymbal. There you go. That's a small diaphragm, an AKG 451. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of balance and a little bit of panning. Cuban music is very influential in the new in musicians and young musicians here in Puerto Rico. Like the things I did with a Gran combo and stuff like that, they're very traditional. And they don't use drums. They use the actual congas, bongo, timbal, maraca, clave, cowbells, and stuff like that. And more modern salsa and fusions with actual Cuban music like timba music and stuff like that, they will use drums, which is this is a modern salsa song. Let me bring up the bongo bell. Let me bring the timbal cowbell up. So let's start doing the panning. These are polyrhythms, right? So I'm gonna make them interesting. So I'm gonna spread them all over the stereo field, right? So I'm gonna get, and usually, traditionally, this is the way they do it. So I'm just gonna get the bongo cowbell and I'm gonna pan it mostly to the right, not hard right, but maybe like 75%. Let's do that real quick. It's a 68 right here, so it's right there. So let me go ahead and do the same thing for the timbale cowbell. I'm gonna do 68 to the left. And usually in salsa, you'll get the two congas and you just leave them in the center. That's the kick and snare, right? You're not gonna pan the kick to the left and the snare to the right. The whole mix will collapse in the hole that makes, right? So the conga is the same thing in the salsa, but in this case, since I have drums, let me play the drums real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pan them a little bit. I want to separate them a little bit from the kick and the snare. So I'm just gonna do like a 16. So this is the pan we have. You have traditional panning on the drums, which is a snare and a kick and snare in the center. So this is, like I said earlier, this is just a rough mix, right? So I got the drums traditionally panned, drummer's perspective, right? I'm making a little bit of space for the kick and the snare with the congas. I have the bongo bell to the right, and I have the timbale bell to the left. Okay, so that's my main panning right now, and those are the pretty much the important things. So the güiro I'm gonna set in a way that if the drummer is playing the hi-hat, I'm not gonna put the güiro on top of the hi-hat. So I'm gonna send it to the opposite side, right? So let's listen for it right now. So this is the güiro. Let's do a little bit to the right. Let's listen to the hi, which is opposite to the hi-hat. Let's listen to the hi-hat and the güiro. And as you can see, it's two different, completely different frequencies. So I can actually EQ them and make them even further apart frequency-wise. Maracas, I pretty much can't remember if I used them on the mix. Usually the maracas I play on the verses, and then the güiro play on the they play the Güiro on the choruses. Okay, so at Timbale, I'm gonna pan the high drum all the way to the left, heart left, and the low drum all the way to the right, heart right. Because when he does the Cascara pattern, which is that pattern that goes tick tack tick tack tick tack tick tack, I like to hear that thing from left to right. He's doing like this, like tick tack tick tack tick tack tick tack. So I like hearing that on the speakers. It makes it really interesting. And when he makes the fills on the timbale, you can hear them from left to right. So I'm just gonna pan hard left the high timbal and hard right the paila, the low paila, right, which is the low timbal. Let's listen to it. Just like that, you have a basic balance and panning. Let's do the claps, which is like a Marc Anthony type of thing. So they're doing like a variation of the clave, right? They're doing like but they're doing a variation of the clave pattern. Okay, let's do a little bit of EQ on the congas, so you can have an idea of the way that I do it. I can use any EQ. Let me use the Massive Passive on the quinto. So this is what I'm gonna do. Remember, so what I do is I try to separate every single sound from the conga. So I'm gonna listen to it, and first of all, let's get the air of the conga, which is I call it the way the skin of the hand touches the skin of on the drum. So I'm gonna find this right here on the top. I'm gonna do like a shelf, and I'm gonna do like the Poltec trick on the Massive Passive, and I'm gonna try to find that frequency. I mean, I'm exaggerating it so you can listen to it, so you can hear it, right? So I don't know if you can hear it. It's you can hear actually this sound. Now I'm gonna try to find the dry, el seco. So I'm gonna look for it right here. I'm gonna use a bell. I'm gonna close the Q, and I'm gonna look for the frequency where it lives. That's nice right there. So let me open up a little bit, and let me find the open sound, the tone of the conga. I'm gonna open the so I think right there. Okay, so let me put the 3 bands on. So pretty much what I didn't change radically the sound. What I did is I sweetened the sound. I took what I had and made it better, and presented it like hyper realistically in your face. So let's do a before and after. That's just the conga, the main drum. Let's try 1K. Okay, so I'm clipping a little bit, so I'm gonna lower the volume. could compress, but I don't like compressing percussion, Latin percussion. I just don't like it. So usually I just EQ, and on the odd chance that it's way over out of control, which is this is not, I will maybe add a little bit of compression. So let's do the tumba with the same EQ. So I'm just gonna add a massive passive too. And usually I do this with the hardware one, and then I either leave it on the congas or I print them. So let's do the same thing with the tumba. So you can hear immediately that it's kind of dark. So let me do the same thing. Let me get the air out of it. And immediately, I don't know if you can hear what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to get that sound from skin to skin, right? Before and after, just that band. Yeah, I like that. So let me try to find a little bit of attack. Just leave the mid frequency right here. $3K, it's around $3K. It's closer. I want to hear some impact. I want to hear. I want to feel like the same person played the same conga set. I don't want to hear like there's one conga that is dark and a conga that is bright, because I feel like there's two different people playing two drums at the same time, and I don't like that. It's just one conga player with one set of congas, so they should sound pretty equal. My opinion, right? I gotta take care of this right here. Let me bring down the volume a little bit here on the fader. I mean, gain staging is sacred, so I just don't want to mess up my gain staging. A little bit of high pass filter right here around 40 hertz. So like I said, this type of instruments, they need to be well recorded, well played in order to get a good sound out of it, especially timbales. And the brass is the same thing. I mean, trumpets and trombones and stuff like that, there's not much you can do EQ-wise. If it's not a good musician with a good instrument, good microphone, good preamp, you don't even have to compress or anything like that while you record. It's just make sure you capture the real sound, the way it is supposed to be captured, right? So if you like this type of content, give me a like and a subscribe. Even though this is a Spanish content channel, YouTube has excellent closed captions in English. I got a course on my website, which is www.esmixing.com. The course is called Fundamentos de la Mezcla, which means mixing fundamentals. It's a salsa timba from importing the files to the session to actually printing the last mix. Lesson number 4 is open for you to audition. You can go ahead, audition that lesson number 4, which is actually is panning and balance of the whole percussion section. Check out the English captions and everything, and if you like it, just buy it. It's Mixing in the house. See you later.